Everything from your side is fine. Okay, so the
All
beautiful,
right.
yeah, Rutav, can we start?
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me a minute, okay? Yeah. The beautiful thing about learning is nobody can take it from you. Good morning, and a warm welcome to our coordinator, Swajanya ma'am, our speaker, Rutav, and my dear students. Today, we are here to take you through everything you need to know about the upcoming Grade 12 board exam with your hard work. We have with us Rutav to share his experiences with us. Let me introduce Rutav, who was a science topper with an excellent score of 96% in his boards. Rutav scored 97.6 percentile in his JEE mains, qualified his JEE advance. He is currently pursuing his BTech in Computer Science and Engineering from Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, Coimbatore. We welcome you, Rutav. The platform is all yours.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for inviting me to this webinar. It's really great to, for Akshara for, providing this platform to showcase, my previous experiences and share them with my juniors as well. So yeah, let's start. So um, yeah, all right. So first of all, I would just like you, since you have like, less than 10 days for your board exams, right? Um, so just keep in mind, like these are some basic tips. Of course, I'll be moving on with some more in the later parts of the presentation. But yeah, so first and foremost, you guys should aptly know your syllabus because prioritize NCRT, especially for board exams. NCRT is a very crucial part. Just know what, like, keep a track of your syllabus, what all you have completed, what all is left. I'm sure you guys would be revising by this time, but please prioritize the high weightage topics as well. And of course, focus on topics which you're currently good at rather than moving on to new topics first. So that will help you to cover all the essential concepts effectively and um, would be would you would be more I would say capable of writing the exam very well. Now, second of all, this depends on like person to person because timetable. Not every person would like to create a timetable. Me specifically, I didn't create like a weekly timetable or so. I would rather made a day-wise timetable. Like each day in the morning, I would plan out my day. I would basically see that what all concepts do I need to cover on this specific day. This helped me to cover up all the topics, all the subjects on time, and it also helped me to address my strong and weak points. Now, I'm sure you guys might be giving college entrances by now. Like JEE session one happened already a while ago. So you guys know the essence of previous year papers, right? So previous year papers are very crucial for board exams, or rather, in fact, any other exams as well. But previous year papers help you to analyze the ongoing trends and the previous exam trends. So this helps you to see what all type of questions are asked in the exam, or rather, what kind of what topic is specifically asked in the exam, and you are bound to know that for sure a question is going to appear in this year's paper as well. And the more you practice papers, right, the more speed, the more accuracy you get. Okay, so you are also advised to go through the marking scheme as well, because especially for topics like English, where uh, time management becomes a crucial role. So yeah, that's is my next point eventually, and yeah, I'm going to cover time management in the later parts of my presentation as well. So time management is really important to maximize your scoring potential. You need to prioritize solving the easy questions first, so that you have more time to solve the hard questions later on, and of course, then you would be able to write a very good paper in the exam. Now, revising effectively. you need to keep your notes handy during this time, because this stage of the board exams is like, a crucial revision period for you. You don't need to go through like every chapter side by side. You need to keep in mind what all is going to come in the exam and what's not. So kindly keep some notes, some formula sheets ready and available at all times. And of course, ask doubts, because please don't hesitate to ask doubts. The teachers are there for you. The teachers will help you if there's any sort of doubt possible. And if they help me, of course. And a big thank you to all of my teachers, because um, doubts are like, I mean, anybody can have doubts. Even I have doubts. Because, see, like, if there's a crucial topic you're not able to understand, like any kind of topic, but and you're trying repeatedly to solve that problem, you're not getting a hang of it, ask your teachers, clarify with them. This will help you. This will like it will gain motivation, you will gain motivation, and of course it will help you strengthen your concepts as well. Now, this might seem as a very general topic, but yeah, please avoid washrooms during exam. That's gonna be, of course, a waste of time. Like, please don't use the washroom unless you're really, you need to use it really desperately. But yeah, you get the point, right? Because this can take up a lot of time. I mean, in JE, there's this thing called where, frisking happens. If you go to the washroom again and you come back, frisking happens. Now, I don't know if it's a similar case for board right now, but like you never know. Okay, so they might ask you, like checking can happen again. So that's why please avoid washrooms during the exam. Now, moving forward, physics. So, physics is a topic where people say it's quite, lengthy to complete. The physics paper is very lengthy to complete and takes a lot of time in solving the questions. Well, my only advice would be to start off that with conceptual clarity. You need to keep your concepts really up to the point, and you need to have a very clear understanding of your concepts. See, physics is just about your environment. Physics, all everything that's been calculated in physics is like our previous scientists, they did it on experimental observations and stuff. So try to understand the physics fundamental concepts rather than just rote memorization. If you understand the concepts, you get to know how the formulas were derived. If you have a clear picture of that, then trust me, physics is going to be a piece of cake for you. Now, second, yes, derivations are really important. In NCRT, the derivations which are there for a syllabus, please practice them step by step. Try to practice them as much as you can. Just close your notebook, take a piece of paper, try practicing a derivation on your own as much as possible, because direct questions come in the exam. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but in the last year's 12th physics paper was really lengthy. It was lengthy for me as well, because I had just been able to complete the paper on time, because like one question there was a derivation, then another question, another derivation. It was like really lengthy paper. The paper was full of derivations. So yeah, they carry a very direct weightage in the exams. Now, numerical problems. Of course, physics has a lot of numericals, but an easy way to tackle them is solve them using NCRT and previous year papers before moving on to any other reference for boards, because this helps a lot. Like you would see numerical being like as it is, they can be asked from NCERT directly, or twisted questions can come. Just the same question, but asked in a different way. Now, diagrams and graphs. This has helped me in my board exams as well, because sometimes you might not know the answer to a question very specifically, but if you know the diagram or you know the graphs, then you'll be able to fetch marks for it simply by drawing a neat, well-labeled diagram. What I did for my exam was where there were like I was getting shortage of time because the paper was really lengthy. So what I did was I just drew the diagram and then explained the concept through the diagram itself. That helped me to save time as well as fetch marks for that question. Uh, for diagrams as well, there's this, I think, yeah, ray optics. Ray optics has quite a lot of diagrams, if I remember. Yes, I do remember. Okay. Now, moving on, content. Now, physics is a part where you shouldn't focus on much aesthetics, because you need to focus on the content more. You just need to make sure that your answer is script, up to the point, and neat and tidy. I did say about diagrams, so the questions which involve diagrams, yes, just do them carefully, draw them neat, draw them well labeled, so that you get marks for it. But for the content, stick to the word limit. Don't go after the word limit. Again, bathroom. I said this before, but yes, if using the bathroom is essential, do it. But other than that, don't do it. Now, for physics, like if you think that you don't have time to do all the chapters right now, you can't revise all of them right now, but just skip some selective chapters. Like, don't skip the whole units, of course, but yes, just skip some selective parts of it. Uh, Focus on the chapters you think that are crucial to be asked in the exam. Like, if you once you're doing previous year papers, you'll get the hang of it eventually. But yeah, step marking. This is crucial in physics as well as mathematics. I'll come to that later. But yes, physics is also a place where step marking is really good. It's really a good way to fetch marks, because if you know nothing, you can still get your marks from the step. Now, nothing is like a very worst case scenario, but yes. So moving on, chemistry. Now, chemistry was, me personally, it was one of my favorite subjects. Chemistry was very scoring for me, and a really fundamental part of my 11th and 12th. Because chemistry has helped me to score a lot, in fact, even in J and as well as boards. But in chemistry, it's always advised to stick to your NCRT textbook and class notes. Nothing will come from beyond it, especially in chemistry, because most of the board exam questions are directly based on the NCRT textbooks, especially for theoretical and organic chemistry. You read the textbook, you will find the questions they are asked as it is from the textbook. And if you have read the NCRT textbook thoroughly, trust me, every question you're going to find some part of the answer. It's as it is from the textbook itself. The text, the small, don't forget to skip the blue boxes in NCRT textbook, like blue or orange, or like the very important notes that are given on every like side of the page. You can be up in the corner, everywhere else. So that's that. And class notes. You, if you're told in class that this is important, then trust me, that is important. For sure, a question will be asked from there in the exam. Because like chemistry is all about just learning, and of course just practice chemistry. The more you get the hang of it, the more you're going to be able to solve it. Read NCRT, read class notes. Chemistry has three topics: organic, physical, inorganic. Organic consists of reaction mechanisms, the name reactions. A lot of diagram is there in chemistry. So, yeah, please pay attention to your structures in organic chemistry, benzene and all. Try drawing them pretty appropriately. Don't really be in a hurry to just draw and move on. Please draw them specifically. Don't waste too much time on it, but yes, just draw them very neatly and precisely. Physical chemistry does contain some theory, but yeah, it also has a lot of numericals. So make sure you develop your problem solving skills. Um, uh, yeah, inorganic chemistry. So inorganic chemistry is, people say, it's very tough to learn. Inorganic chemistry has a lot of theory. I don't want to learn it. Well, best way, use mnemonics. Use some fun tricks to learn inorganic chemistry. That's how I did it, because, for me also inorganic was really boring. Like, I didn't really like to study, despite chemistry being one of my favorite subjects. But yeah, it's another point. But yeah, inorganic chemistry is really like if you get the hang of it, right, you'll be easily able to fetch marks for this. Use some mnemonics for periodic trends, use some mnemonics for key reactions, properties. Try to remember exceptions because those exceptions are most of the questions which are asked in the exam. Now, attention to detail. This wasn't really a crucial part for physics, but it is for chemistry because the structures the way in which you draw your reaction mechanisms and all are able to fetch you marks. The more good your presentation is, the more marks you're going to get in chemistry. Now, preparation. So please focus on preparing chemistry whenever you have your paper. Please, align yourself. Just, make a plan it out that you want to do organic over here, physical on the next day, or inorganic on the other day. But try to plan those out. Try to focus on one topic and then move on to another. Uh, if you have any doubts, as I told, please ask your teachers, especially for chemistry. Yeah, keywords. Don't really, find, just don't go over the world. Like, don't try to make another definition for an already existing definition. Stick to the point. Stick to remember your keywords. Remember the definition keywords. Because if you have written the definition with the correct amount of keywords, there you go. If you're gonna you're gonna get marks. If you write it like in some other way, like this. Suppose you can call there's a reaction name, and you're supposed to define what happens with that reaction. Now, if you just go around that, you're not using any kind of keyword. You're just simply just describing what's happening. That's not going to fetch you marks. Use keywords, underline them if time permits. It should in most of the cases, but yeah, you underline the keywords that helps in your overall presentation, and yeah, you're gonna fetch marks. Right. Do much handwritten practice as possible. Chemistry won't take a lot of time in finishing the paper. Chemistry is one of it's not really lengthy if you have studied chemistry properly. So yeah, but still do some handwritten practice. Do it as much as possible so that you get a grip on it. Yeah. Okay. Just a second, guys. Yeah, so mathematics. Mathematics is a very crucial part. Mathematics is, if you haven't studied mathematics properly, you're going to face a time crunch. So, first up, master all your formulas and theorems. Please keep in mind that mathematics is it's really based on formulas, I would say. Formulas and theorems. You remember all the formulas, you remember all the theorems, that's it. You're done for mathematics. Because, I mean, all the questions are based on the formula itself. You just need to remember the formula and you need to apply it. That's it. Because if once you keep your fundamentals clear, right, you're gonna be able to make it really like it's gonna be really easy for you. Because me personally, even though like I'm studying computer science right now, as you guys know, so there are in coding also you're advised to keep your basics strong. Once you have your basics strong and ready, it's gonna help you in your long-term coding progression as well. Same applies to mathematics. If you know all the formulas, you know all the basics, you know all the theorems, there you have it. Any kind of problem, if you're given, you'll be able to solve it. Unless if you're not able to memorize the formulas clearly, please keep a dedicated formula sheet ready for quick revision. I had done so for a few formulas. I wasn't unable to memorize them. I just tried to write them down manually so that it stick to my brain. Now, mathematics can, as I said before, it can be time taking. So practice a variety of problems, like just solve questions from NCRT. I have solved NCRT a lot for board exams. The full exercises, I've solved them, and I solved every question, like every single question of NCRT. And I'm not even like, over speaking, or like I'm just, in that I have solved every single question, and that has helped me. Trust me. The more you practice, the more you're gonna get a grip on mathematics. So, I mean, it's like how many other problems you make, like how many other problems you practice. You're still gonna encounter, some mistakes. I still do. I regret that, but yes, I still do. But that improves your accuracy and your skill in solving the problems fast and efficiently. So yes, solve the previous questions, previous year paper questions, and NCRT questions. As I said, time management. The more problems you solve, the faster you get, and the more time management you have in exams. Advised easy questions first, hard questions later on. That's what I have done. In some cases in maths, like if I think that this question is like really wrong, it's gonna take a lot of time. So just try to, I just leave some space for that question. If I think this space would be adequate for it, don't worry. If it's, I mean, it shouldn't be not adequate. If it's like, if you think, it's extra space, don't worry. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. But yeah, I just leave some space for it, and then I move on with the next question, and then I solve that question later on. This helps me to, apply my brain more effectively on that particular question. Because if I'm not getting that question at that time, it's gonna be a waste of time doing that question, and I lose marks for other questions. This is a very crucial part in JE as well. So, but same case applies for both. Again, graphs and functions. Maths also contains some graphs, and you guys do have linear programming. I saw your syllabus, so yes, you guys do have linear programming this year as well. I'm pretty sure you're going to be getting an extra graph sheet for it. So that might take away your time in, collecting the graph sheet, and that exam scenario is very different in boards, because once you're there, like it's pretty strict. And trust me, if it's strict, it's strict. You can't do anything. You can't do no copying, no cheating, nothing. So please, like you're gonna be given like graph sheets. So and you need to sign every single graph sheet. If you're taking an extra supplement, you also need to sign. You need to do a variety of other steps. So please keep these points in mind, because they seem to be like very little points now, but during the exam, trust me, it gets really difficult. You're gonna get like time constraints in the exam, especially for maths. So yeah, there's that. Content again. For mathematics, content matters more than aesthetics. Do not waste time in aesthetics. You just keep the paper neat and tidy. You solve it step by step. That's it. There you go. Attempt. Writing something is better than writing nothing. So there's no negative marking. What's the point? What's the point? Like you just, if you want to leave a question blank, like what's the point of writing it, right? Just write at least something more. Write something that you know about the question. That can still fetch you marks. Because see, anything is always better than zero. All right. Now, yeah, the day of the exam. So, mathematics, the day of the exam, do not speak to many people on the day of the exam. Stay fresh and focused after a good night's sleep, because I do this always for mathematics, because if my brain is fresh on the day of the exam, I'll be able to solve the problems more efficiently. If my day isn't fresh, then yes, mathematics sometimes hampers me too. I get stuck on some problems. I try to solve them repeatedly. Then it becomes, a problem that why am I not able to solve this problem? Why I'm not able to do it? So you keep getting stuck on that problem. That's why you're advised, if you're stuck on that problem, just go to another point. But yeah, other than that, please keep your mind fresh. Don't really talk to anyone. Yeah, just have general conversations and stuff. But yeah, just keep your mind clean and fresh on the day of the exam for maths. Now, the questions. I have faced a lot of you know mistakes for this, because sometimes I don't read the question properly and I end up solving a wrong part of the question. So, and if you some maths is like where the questions are interconnected. So one question is based on another. So if you get, suppose there are three parts A, B, C. If you get the first part wrong, you're gonna get the other two parts wrong, and you're gonna lose marks for that whole question. So that is a very crucial point to be noted. Please try to read the question thoroughly. Keep on reading the question thoroughly as you're solving it. If you tend to forget the question, just skim through the question once, and after you're done writing the answer, ma- uh, in maths, please try to finish the paper at least about 15 minutes earlier. For me, I used to finish it, yeah, a bit like 15, somewhat 15 to 20 minutes, so something like that, where I would use those 15 to 20 minutes to go through my paper, find out if there's any mistake, if I've read the question wrong, if I've done anything wrong, I try to correct it. As minimal as possible. Don't really try to overdo it. Don't try to scribble on it that, just make multiple lines. That affects, like, that can, say, distress the evaluator, and you could end up losing marks for it. So yeah, attempt all parts and write the question numbers correctly, of course. So there's that. And reattempt. If you want to reattempt a solution, uh, reattempt a question, cut through the entire solution that you had written, including your question number, and then write it again. Don't overdo it. Don't scribble it. Simply a line is enough. Just take a line, just make a simple cut, make a cut on the question number, then move on. Don't get panicked. Please don't get panicked. That's going to hamper your performance. Just simply make a cut and move on for if you want to reattempt a question. All right. Now, English. So, English is, yeah, it's an easy subject. I mean, it is an easy subject, but it can't if you are not really, if you're too lazy to do it. Um, my English was a bit of a weak point at the starting of 12th, but with the help of my teachers, thank you, Bashar ma'am, for this. Like, I mean, English guidance really helped me to improve my English overall by the ending of 12th, and I was able to excel at my boards in English. That's my board score in English was the highest ever which I've gotten. So, yeah, practice comprehension, reading section. Practice the comprehension passages for accuracy, for speed, for maximizing your scores. Comprehension was a part where I was losing a lot of marks. So please try to practice comprehension as much as possible. Just read, all the questions are actually in the paragraph itself. If you read the passage thoroughly, right? So that will help you to answer the questions more effectively. Now, time. English is also one of the subjects where time matters a lot because their literature, like the literature section, it requires you to recall what happened in that chapter previously. So if you don't remember that, you are essentially going to lose marks for that because you won't be able to write the answer well. So make sure you have enough time, you have enough brain capacity to write your literature section thoroughly. Marking scheme. English, please be aware of the marking scheme. Please know what you're gonna write, what you're not gonna write, what all weightage is there for writing skills, grammar. I guess it's there. Yeah, grammar, literature, and comprehension. So please go through the marking scheme to understand on what basis you're gonna be evaluated and how you can score the best in English. Writing skills. Formats, instant memorization. Do not, please have them on your fingertips. Formats are very essential. Do not forget the formats. Formats carry hands-on marks. Know how much time you're going to take for writing versus thinking versus writing. Because writing skill is the place where you are advised not to go off the word limit. If you're going to go off the word limit, you're going to spend more time on it. Please stick to the word limit. Know what you're going to write, how much you're going to write, and do it. I'm sure writing skills will be a piece of cake if you have these points in mind. It won't really be that much of a hassle because it's just basically you need to be aware of the format and be aware of the topic you're going to be writing on. Now, literature. Be well versed with the characters. Literature, how I studied literature was that I did read the chapter thoroughly, and I also had summaries of the chapter written. You can Google online for summaries. You can take a reference book for summaries, but don't stick to it because it might be wrong here and there. Yes, do not really stick to one reference book for English. Please go through the chapter yourself, create a summary for yourself. So be well versed with what all characters are there, because there are chapters where character memorization is a lot important. Now, remember how they interact with each other. Remember their behavior, their appearances, like what all behavior was there between one character and the other. So, sometimes the chapters are interconnected, especially in poems, where one poem was directly related to another poem, and you may be asked to draw contrast on that. How does this chapter contrast with this chapter? So please be aware of that. That will help you score in literature. Literature is all about just reading, just what is your understanding of the chapter. Please be aware of that. And of course, uh, uh, keep in mind the points which your teachers have given in the class for literature as well. English presentation matters. I said, right, physics, maths, it's not really a part of presentation, but English, it sure is. Presentation can fetch you a lot of marks. In presentation, like chemistry, please underline the keywords if you have the time to do so. That can help you fetch marks. Write neatly, write spaced paragraphs so that the evaluator can see what you're writing, what you have written. Please don't write it in one single paragraph. For some cases, it's really not advised to do so because um, if you write, in paragraphs, it becomes more clean, neat. It's pretty an apt description. It gives you a very clear description of what you have written to the evaluator. So yeah, write neat space paragraphs properly, underline key points for clarity. Again, okay. Yeah. Plan. Have a rough plan on what you're going to write before you start. You get the paper some minutes before, some moments before, right? So just have a brief reading and see what you're going to write, which section you're going to write. I think you can write different sections, I guess. Although yeah, yes, you can write different sections. You can, but you can't write it in like a different question order. You are supposed to go with one section and You're supposed to follow that specifically. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. Um, Grammar and vocabulary. English, grammar, vocabulary are really important. Spelling mistakes can cost you marks because focus on your knowledge of vocabulary. Please improve your vocabulary here and there. Read the chapters, that helps a lot. So use effective vocabulary to portray your point. Don't really start using, very out of the box words if you don't even know the meaning of it. Please don't do that. I used to do that and I've lost marks for that as well because please write what you know and rather than what you don't know because the words, right, they matter a lot in English. As you're writing the answer, you tend to use words which you think that I'll use really these kinds of words so that I can get more marks. Well, no, please don't. Focus on your accuracy in your language and use effective vocabulary to portray your point. Again, don't use out of the box words. Use words directly from the chapters as well. I used to do this. This was one of the tricks I had personally used because if I read the chapters, you sometimes tend to catch some words in your brain. You remember some words in your brain. You can use those in your answers in literature. That is a really good way to frame your answer. Please don't overuse it. Don't use repeated words. Please use new words. If you encounter that you need to use a similar adjective for this, please don't use the same adjective. Just use another adjective that you know. So yeah, that's why you should increase your vocabulary and grammar on this. So using words from the chapters themselves would enhance your answers. So there's that. I think that's all for today. All the
Hi,
best to
Ritav.
you guys for your board exam.
Hi everyone. I know I'm very late. I'm so sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Hi.
Finally. I just want to add a few things to the English thing that you said. The first one is that when the points thing where you're supposed to plan out what you write before you start writing it, decide what questions you want to write down the points for example, for me, I used to write down what I wanted for the writing section before I started writing it, because otherwise I would lose my thoughts. But for short answers, I would just have these points in my head and I wouldn't write them down, because I thought it was easier like that and I did not have the time to write down points for everything. That's one thing. Secondly, the marking scheme. So obviously there were questions that I did not know answers to, but what really helped me was that I went through two or three marking schemes just before the board exam, as in 2 days before the board exam. And so I knew that if I know absolutely nothing, I can still write these points to get minimum marks. And I clearly got more than minimum marks in that. So it can fetch you even full marks, even if you don't know what the question is about. Recognize the chapter, you'll understand how to write generalized points. Don't do this for every answer. Only do this for answers that you have no idea what to write about. But read these marking schemes, they will help you so much. Um I think and literature, right? So you're not going to get cross book questions. I'm pretty sure you're not, like last year you didn't get cross book questions.
Yeah.
Know how the character in one chapter connects to another, but do it for the same book. Don't do cross book for that, because that's not going to come in the exam. I think that's all that I wanted to add. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Yashvi. Of course, because you have taught English yourself, so of course, words from you would be really better than mine.
And I
So
would
yeah,
like to,
there's
yeah, Ruttav, I would like to let all the students know that Yashvi had scored a perfect 100 in English. So as you
yes,
said, yes, she is the one who's going to, add more to it. And also, she had scored 94.4 in her boards, and currently she is pursuing her BSc Economics at University of Bristol. So yeah, she had some technical issues, so she joined late with us today. So, students, do you have anything else to ask Rutav and Yashvi?
please be free. Please be free to ask any doubts.
Yeah, Ashvi, good you are able to join. So, English you have given the tips, but I want you to give tips for other three subjects also. Crisp, if you can add on what you have experienced and share your insights also to them, I guess quickly. That would
Yes.
be good. Yeah.
Let's start with physics. Man, physics was so hard to study for. I ate like three paracetamols during the preparation. Take breaks while studying. It's very important, because otherwise you'll get so burnt out by the day of the exam that you'll lose your mind. For physics and math, don't speak to people before the exam. You need your head. You need as much brain space as possible. uh for physics, I think that's about it. I think we've mentioned everything on the slides. For chemistry, if you have not studied yet, tell ma'am, it's okay. She will scold you. It's fine. Still tell her, because it's so worth it to get advice. This is, of course, for all subjects. I was going to school one day before the exam, before most exams, and I have gotten so much help. I think you should do the same. If you have doubts, or if you have not studied enough, it's fine. Go to ma'am, ask her, trouble her. Do mark. So for chemistry, make sure that you have your keyword in the answer, because those keywords carry a lot of marks. That's again true for all subjects, but especially for chemistry. For math, I think uh, if you don't know absolutely anything, write the formula, write whatever you can think of. There's no negative marking. The worst you can do is get a zero. So there's no going down below zero, and you're never going to meet the examiner. So it's fine to write useless stuff that you know is wrong, that by chance might be correct. If you still don't know anything, then at least write the question number, so that you get grace marks if everyone is getting marks. That's about it, I think.
So
If you
I
guys
hope
have
like
any questions.
yeah, please feel
Um,
free, guys, because
Yashvi and Rutav, there is one question in the chat. Will it be beneficial to draw structures when not mentioned in the question?
um benefit. Okay. Not it's not really advice because if they have not asked, you don't really draw it. If you know it's basically of a more of a time management. Like if time persists, I always try to leave some space for drawing the diagrams if I think that drawing the diagram for that question would be beneficial. So I tend to leave some space. In chemistry, I used to do this because chemistry, a lot of the questions would contain where we need to explain through diagrams, where you need to draw some part of the diagram to explain that topic. So you can leave some space for that if you think that drawing the diagram is not really important for that question. You can later on, once you're done with the paper, you can draw the diagram over there. Just a neat, crisp diagram would be my advice.
I also think you should only do it because if you're 100% sure that you're correct, because you might not gain extra marks for it, but you will lose marks if it's wrong.
Indeed.
Students, any other questions from Ruttav and Yashvi? Please be free to ask. Yeah, we have one more question. For physics, I've tried a lot methods, but I'm still not able to reach the point in these last 10 days. What should I to do to score better?
So there's,
Um,
do you want to take the question, Ritav?
no, you can go for it. Yes.
Okay, so there's two aspects to physics. There's the logical aspect where you need to understand the concept, and then there's the numerical aspect. I think we won't be able to tell you what you're going wrong with, but you will have to evaluate that for yourself. If it's the logical part, then I think go back to your NCRT, get a guide that you are able to understand from, and clear those logics before going on to the questions. If it's numericals, go slow, go start from examples of NCRT and move your way up. Of course, there's not a lot of time left, so you won't be able to do this for all chapters. Pick up the chapters with highest weightage, start with those, and see where you're going wrong. I think if you understand where you're going wrong, getting the solution is pretty straightforward. You just need to start at what the root cause is.
Yeah, even I agree with Yashvi. Yes, if you're facing a problem, please try to find at what particular topic you're facing that problem, from where you're facing it. Try to find the root cause. That would be much more beneficial. I think in the last 10 days, yeah, you should be able to, try to just go back to the topic, just try to revise it, try, using formula sheets or something, try to note it down on your own. I think then you'll be able to do it quite nicely.
You can also ask ma'am for help if you have confusions with any topic. She will help you completely, 100%.
Any other questions, students? I guess we all are sorted and no other questions.
I also think if they have questions later, they can just text us and we'll respond. That's fine as well.
Thank you, Yashmi. Mirza ma'am,
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Akshara Management and our respected Principal Dr. Mridula Mahajan ma'am for giving this platform to the students to share their pearls of wisdom and knowledge. Next, I would like to thank our Senior Secondary Coordinator ma'am, Ms. Sajanya, for her invaluable support and guidance. A special thanks to Rutav and Yashvi for sharing their insightful knowledge, expertise, and strategies for success. All the tips given by our experts will definitely help our students to ace board exams. And finally, a huge thank you to all teachers and students. Your presence here today is what truly made this orientation effective and special. Thank you once again to everyone.
students, we can leave.
Thank you so much.